Well, first of all, it's really nice to see lots of friends here as well, and that's something which I just love about Second Life, that I feel that I've made loads of real friends, not virtual friends, but real friends. And if you do want to know who I am in the physical world, and by the way, someone told me that they think that's quite a good idea to call about it physical rather than real, because it's real here as well, it's just virtual rather than physical. I've got a Google profile, and if you just put Helen Myres 007 into Google, you would find it. And there you would find out who I am. In the physical world then, I'm a teacher manager at a language college called the Ashcombe School. We specialise in ICT. In the virtual world here, I'm, as you see, Karelia Kondor, and I've got a Twitter feed, and I've got a Blip TV channel and a blog. And in particular, I learn Italian here, and that's what I'm going to talk about. But I'm also just starting out in Team Grid, and there I'm working with collaborators, and I'm called Electra there. So I'm going to talk about two uses that I've made of virtual worlds. And the first one is the use that I've made of it personally as a language learner. And I went to a conference the other day. It was the Harrogate IATEFL conference, where one of the people they were saying really to convince teachers of how good something is. Very often, if they've experienced it as a learner, that's the best sort of insight that you can give them, that they've experienced it and they know it's working. And this is what's happened to me. I'm learning Italian here in Second Life. I'm totally persuaded by the experience, and now I'm interested in applying my own teaching. So how did it start? Well, I met Carol Rainbow, who's here, and she persuaded me to get a plot here. I said I was interested in learning Italian, and she introduced me to Anna Begonia. Anna Begonia is an absolutely fantastic language teacher, really interested in seeing how Second Life can be used for learning languages. And what happens now is that every Tuesday evening, 9:30 p.m. UK time, I go along to Anna's plot, and I spend at least an hour and a half with her and with other people wanting to learn Italian, and we do lots and lots of activities. And when you're asleep, Kalyan, Kalyan came along as well, and in the audience also we have Gizmo Latte, who comes along too. She's much better than I am at Italian. I learn lots from her. Anyway, so we meet together, and it definitely is not a regular class. We do not sit behind tables. We don't do grammar drills. We do lots of other things. We do 3D things. We do role plays in markets, hotels, restaurants. We play games. We go to museums. I mean, some of those museums and things that you looked at 360 degrees placebo, we've gone along, and what we've done, we've visited it, and, you know, we've actually been interested, and it stimulated our conversation. I'd really recommend you look at Anna Begonia's blog, and she's got a bit in English where she talks a lot about what she does, but in particular really looks at the pedagogy and the theory behind it. The most recent thing that we've done, which I think is really, really good, is that we discuss, we're putting together a plot for a telefilm. And we're at the stage now where we've made up our plot. We're now about to act it. We've decided on our costumes. Yes, Anna is amazing, Kalyan. We're deciding on our costumes. I'm going to be playing the part of Juno. Gizmo is going to be Diana, my daughter. Anyway, I won't give away too much, because it'd be nice if you watched it sometime. We've already made one film, which is called The Hairdresser's Husband, and I will post the web address for the blog right at the end. I'll give you all of the addresses for things that I'm talking about. Anyway, so the activity, you can tell hopefully from my voice, I am totally, totally convinced by this, really inspired. So who does it work for, and why does it work for those people? Well, I would say, first and foremost, it really works for self-motivated, IT-savvy adults. You know, as we've already seen, people do experience problems with Second Life, and there'll be some people who will be totally put off by it, and it's a little bit difficult to work with them. But really, I think if you're self-motivated, ICT-savvy, you'll love it. And why? How is it different? Well, for me, the main thing is this 3D element. You're interacting with the environment. There are 3D consequences for what you do. And there's real pleasure in what you can see and do here. And I think the theory behind this is that the opportunities in Second Life are fantastic for linking in elegantly to the needs of an adult wishing to learn a language. It offers an experience which I think is comfortably over and above what you can offer in a normal teaching situation. So, I mean, what are the optimal conditions for language learning? for me, the optimal experience is being in the country and being with someone alongside you to help as you're interacting. And when I sort of prepared that, I was thinking a little bit like Rousseau and Emile. You know, you're going through your world and you've got your person next to you to help you. So in the language learning context, the experiential situation contributes to the efficacy of that learning process. Well, there's a camel coming, is there? Anyway, having that real experience, I think it affects your brain, the neural circuits, and so it's much more real to learn a word with a 3D experience than a 2D flashcard. So just to end up with thinking about it, so often we use language within a social context. If you ask someone out for a drink in a pub, there's some sort of focus, some sort of stimulus. And in terms of us as human beings, the way we learn languages, I feel, is all bound up with social programming. And that's why it's so important to learn language in a real context, embedding those neural contexts with the scenario. Okay, I'll stop, and I will give you the links later on. Bye.
Thank you so much.